Before China became an empire of scholars and silk, it was forged in fire, blood, and absolute ambition. An empire so short-lived it lasted only 15 years, yet powerful enough to shape 2,000 years of Chinese history. This is the story of the Qin Dynasty, the empire that unified China and paid the ultimate price for centuries. The land we now call China was trapped in the Warring States period, a brutal era where 7 kingdoms were locked in endless warfare. Across vast plains, armies clashed in bloody conflict. Cities were besieged and burned to the ground. For generations, no land knew peace, and the people suffered under the constant threat of violence and chaos. But among these warring kingdoms was one that outsiders mocked as barbaric. This was the state of Qin, a realm hardened by the unforgiving mountains that bordered it, a culture defined by discipline, and a government built on ruthless reforms. Under the legalist principles of Lord Shang, Qin was transformed into a fearsome machine. Strict order was imposed, merit was valued over noble birth, and military efficiency became the state's highest purpose. By the time the other kingdoms recognized the threat, it was too late. The disciplined armies and centralized power of Qin had made them an unstoppable force, poised to sweep away the old order and build something new from its ashes. Into 46 BCE, a 13-year-old boy named Yingzheng ascended the Qin throne, possessing a vision and ambition far beyond his years. He launched a series of relentless military campaigns. By 221 BCE, he had systematically conquered every rival kingdom, bringing an end to 500 years of devastating civil war. He then crowned himself Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. With that audacious title, a new chapter began, and the birth of a unified nation was declared. In only 15 years, the Qin dynasty accomplished reforms that would endure for millennia, creating the very foundations of Chinese civilization. The emperor standardized the writing system, ensuring that commands from the capital could be read across his vast domain. He introduced a single currency, standardized weights and measures, and commissioned a unified system of roads, connecting the disparate regions of his new empire. A centralized bureaucracy was established to govern the land, and for the first time, national laws were applied equally to all subjects. China began to speak with one script, travel on the same roads, and obey a single, overarching law. This was not merely a conquest. It was the very invention of China as a unified cultural and political entity. But the same emperor who built China also ruled it with an iron fist of fear. The pursuit of unity came at a terrible cost. To silence dissent and erase the past, books were burned in massive pyres, and scholars who opposed his rule were reportedly buried alive. Millions of his subjects were forced into heavy labor, their lives spent on monumental projects that served the emperor's glory. Any form of dissent was crushed without mercy. His projects were as monumental as they were brutal. He ordered the connection of existing fortifications to create the earliest unified sections of what would become the Great Wall. Simultaneously, he commanded the construction of a massive, secret mausoleum for his afterlife. This tomb was protected by the legendary Terracotta Army, an astonishing force of over 8,000 life-sized warriors, each with a unique face, standing guard for eternity. In the world of Qin Shi Huang, greatness and suffering became inseparable forces. In the year 210 BCE, Qin Shi Huang died while on a journey searching for the elixir of immortality. The colossal empire he had built with such precision and ruthlessness collapsed almost instantly. His death created a power vacuum that his weaker successors could not fill. Corruption spread through the court, and rebellions ignited across the countryside, fueled by years of resentment. Just 4 years after the first emperor's passing, the Qin dynasty fell. Yet the unified China he had forged did not break apart again. The centralized system that Qin Shi Huang created, the standardized script, and the very concept of a single empire became the essential template for every dynasty that followed. His empire died in fire and rebellion, but his vision of a unified China did not. The Qin dynasty was brutal, its existence short, and its methods unforgiving. Yet it was in this crucible of conflict and control that the foundations of Chinese civilization were forged, creating the enduring structure that the Han Dynasty would later inherit and elevate to a golden age. In the fire of Qin, a nation was born.